So, hello everyone, welcome to demo session 2 of Selenium training. Yesterday, I have given a high level overview of how the sessions are going to happen, right? And what will be covered in the session and how the sessions are going to be different from other sessions and what are the other additional benefits I am providing apart from the training. All those things were covered as part of the demo session 1. So in this demo session 2, I'm going to take the first session actually. Okay, this is going to be the first training session you can consider where I am going to introduce you guys to Selenium first, so that you can actually see me how I generally train, whether you are able to understand my way of teaching, and you can see how interactive the sessions are going to be, and how easy and organized and step by step the sessions are going to be. That's all the main intention of conducting the demo session 2. So guys, let's get started with the demo session 2. That is nothing but introduction to Selenium. It's a very basic thing anyhow. Okay, a lot of people may already know what all these topics of introduction, but there may be other people who may not know this. That's the reason I have to cover all this stuff, guys. Okay, be with me, guys. So guys, before we move on to Selenium, okay, before we move on to Selenium, we need to find out the difference between the manual testing and automation testing. Some people are even calling manual testing nowadays as software testing only. That's okay. Okay, I understand that, but still, I'm just using this term manual testing just for the case of making you understand what exactly is automation testing. Nothing more than that. Okay, so let me explain what is manual testing, what is automation testing. Very simple, guys. Very simple things. That is, here I will say manual testing. Here I will be writing manual testing, and here I will be writing automation testing. So here, coming to manual testing, it is a general testing which is performed without using any automation tools. Okay, without using any automation tools, you perform some testing that we can generally call it as manual testing. Okay, whereas in case of automation testing, we'll be using automation tools. I'll tell you few examples for automation tools in some time. Okay, we'll be using some automation tools for performing the testing in this side. So here, a real person, okay, a real person will be sitting, okay, a real person will be sitting before the computer and then performing testing. A real person will be sitting before the computer machine and then will be performing testing in case of manual testing. Here, a tool, okay, a tool known as automation tool, okay, a tool known as automation tool will be performing testing on behalf of the person. Okay, instead of the person sitting before the computer, a tool will be performing testing on behalf of the person. Okay, so here we generally call this kind of person who is kind of performing testing, right, as a tester, as a tester. Right, here a tester will be there who is sitting before the computer and then will be performing the testing. But on the other side, coming to the automation testing, here tester will not be sitting. Instead, he will be taking the help of the tool in performing the testing. So automation tool will be performing testing. So what is manual testing? Testing performed without using any automation tools by the real person sitting before the computer is known as manual testing. But coming to automation testing, okay, testing performed by the automation tool on behalf of the on behalf of the real person, okay, on behalf of the real person is known as automation testing. So guys, hope you got the difference between what is manual testing and what is automation testing, right? Very simple difference. Here, without using tools, your tools will be performing testing. That's the only main things you need to understand. So guys, so next thing is how can a tool perform testing? Okay, we need to understand. This may be very basics, guys. Okay, you already know this stuff. Okay, I assume that a lot of people already know this, but still I am explaining to make my session more understandable for everyone. Fine. So how can a tool perform testing? So guys, any answers? Very basic question. Okay. Yeah. Any basic and anything. Okay. You just answer me here. Anyone can answer in the chat, guys. They can ping. How can a tool perform testing? Any ideas or anything from your side? It's okay. If it is wrong or right, that's okay, guys. You can just type in the chat. Let's make it interactive, the session interactive, so that you'll be following the complete session. Yes, Surabhi, you are right. We need to write scripts for that. Yes, that's okay. Yes, simple. Yes, correct. Yes, right. How can a tool perform testing? So here, you are right, guys. Here, first of all, a person will be there. That is we generally call him an automation tester. If he is working on the automation code, we generally name him as automation tester. Okay. So here in between, so here there is something. So here I will say this is automation tool. There are several automation tools in the market, right? There are several automation tools in the market like Selenium. What are the other examples, guys? You can type in the chat. Whatever the automation tools you know, just type in the chat. Yes. Yes, lot of tools. A lot of people know a lot of tools. I am seeing the chat here as I can see that a lot of people are like very good in advanced mode where they know all the tools. Yes, Surabhi is saying Appium. That's right. Appium is there. Yes, QTP nowadays they are calling it as UFT. Yes, right. So protractor, right, guys. Okay, protractor is there. So very basic questions I'm asking just to make yourself involved in the sessions. Then we have RPA, yeah, some sort of, and Perfecto. Okay, yeah, yeah, everything can be called automation if it is actually reducing our manual efforts. That's fine, guys. So there are many other tools and many other tools are there in the market for automation tools. So how can a tool perform testing? Okay, so here automation tester will, with the help of some editor or IDE, he will write some code here. He will write some code using some programming language like Java or and with the help of some automation code, something like that. Okay, APIs or something. He will club together and will write some code. Okay, he will write some code. The code may be looking something like this at a high level. Okay, just at a high level, just understand. So we'll see any example code is there. Yeah, this is one example code, right? This is an automation code. You don't need to understand this code, guys. Okay, I'm just giving an example. So for example, let's say this is a code. Let's say this is how the automation code will look like. Okay, so I'll just paste it here. So the automation tester or developer you can call, he'll be writing this automation code here. All right, he'll be providing this automation code. He'll be writing this automation code and providing this automation to the automation tool. Okay, he need to write the automation code in some IDE and provide that automation code to the automation tools, right? And then finally, what's the final step, guys? Once he writes the automation code and provide it to the automation tools, what is the final step? So once you provide, that is done, or what you have to do next? What we have to do next, guys? What's the next thing? Yes, simple, guys. That's you are right, Asa. Yes, execution is the simple thing. Yes, everyone, most of the people are knowing how the things are going to work. Okay, so execution. Once the automation tester writes the code and supplies that particular code to the automation tool, and he, with the help of the automation tool and this ID or whatever it is, he will execute the code. You are right. Okay, so that framework and all that's correct only, but I don't want to point it out now. We'll discuss frameworks in the later point of the session, but it is the right. Okay, it is the right answer, guys. So here, fine, execution. Now you know how the tool performs testing. Okay, everyone is like very active today. I can see the lot of energy from you guys as you're answering a lot of things. Okay, this is how we can make the things easy for everyone. Fine. So what are the advantages then? What are the advantages of automating the stuff? Why we need to automate? Why we generally require to automate? What's the main problem that we are solving? Okay, by automating stuff. What's the main problem that we are solving? Yes, few answers I am getting. Yes, accuracy will be one answer. One sort of that is right. Accuracy, that's right. Yes, it will reduce manual efforts. A lot of people are answering manual efforts will be reduced. That's very right. Okay. It will reduce manual efforts. Every day you don't have to execute this or test the same functionality. You can just okay, give that task to the automation tool. Automation tool will take care of that regular task, so that manual efforts will be gradually reduced. Yes, yes, Chetan, you are right. Yes, Chetan, you are right. Regression testing is the main thing, right? So we generally perform automation for for automating the regression. Okay, regression is the main thing, guys. Okay, out of all these things, whatever you talk, but general thing is like regression. Okay, regression testing. So regression testing is something that will be like because these are all the things. If you say reduce manual efforts, okay, that's happening because you are automating the regression part. Yes, repetitive part. Regression is something nothing but repetitive only, right? Regression is nothing but the repetitive thing only. Repetitive. It is a repetitive work. Yes, right, guys. So yes, run, write once and run multiple times every day. You don't have to do that, right? So I'm getting a lot of chat messages. Just I'm reading that. You can also put the chat box before you, guys, while I'm explaining, while I'm interacting, right? You just open your chat box and then put it before you while I'm explaining, so that you'll not feel confused. Yes, yes, reduce cost. Lot of advantages are there. It will reduce the cost. Yes, okay. Yes, automation. Yes, reusable code is something that is okay, an advantage that is not directly related to why we automate. Okay, it may not be the direct answer, Divya, but it's okay. Okay, somewhere it is there. Then any other? Yes, someone said it will reduce your time. Yes, it will reduce our time. Okay, it will reduce time. So, for example, let me give a different perspective of how the things happen in real time. Okay, how the things happen in real time and where exactly the automation will benefit us. Okay, let me, yes, reduce complexity and all those stuff. That's fine. Yes, like it's there is a point there, like complexity. Okay, someone is saying complexity. So when there are some scenarios which are very complex for a regular user to test every day, and there is a more possibility that accuracy may be missing there, right? Complex scenarios miss the accuracy. So if you automate such kind of scenarios, yes, you are right. So what happens there is like the tool will be very accurate and it will not get confused like normal users. Okay, once you make the automation test right, so every time it will give the accurate results. But when coming to the normal user or general tester who is performing testing, one day he may test the complex scenario in a proper way, but tomorrow, due to some different XYZ reasons, he may result in some bugs because he may be less patient, or he may get confused, or he may okay wrongly assume things. A lot of things are there. Okay, so that's a very big subject anyhow. But for now, that's very good response, guys, that I got from you guys. Again, I'm going to appreciate you guys for whatever you are answering. Lot of things you are saying. Okay, lot of things you are answering. That's very good. Very good participation. Fine. Now let me give you a exactly where exactly the automation is more useful. Okay, so in my own way, it's my version, guys. Everyone has their own version, so this is my version. Fine. So guys, generally when you are automating something, that project should be a first rule should be it project should be generally a long term project. Okay, automation testing is generally suitable for long term projects. For example, you take an e-commerce application. Okay, e-commerce application like Flipkart or Amazon. Okay, Amazon something. Okay, so you just take such kind of examples. If you want to automate Amazon application, do you think Amazon is simple or complex? It's a simple application or it is a very big or complex application? What do you think, guys? Just type in the chat. Simple or complex? Yes, lot of functionalities are there. Complex application, right? So if I have to list down the functionalities of the Amazon, it will take a lot of time, guys. That much complexities, right? You are right, guys. It's very complex application. Starting from login, registration. What are the different functionalities we see in Amazon, guys? Login, registration, forgot password, right? These are the something that we see on the home page will be there. Headers will be there. Footers will be there. Okay. Then we have like a product display page will be there. All the product display, the pages where your products will be displayed. Okay. And different products will have different display pages, right? Multiple types of display pages. Multiple types of display pages. So let me like just list down something because it will become more interesting if I write like this kind of things, right? So any more things? Any more things? You can type in the chat, guys. I also need some inputs from you. Whatever you see in e-commerce, Amazon, right? You can also interact. Yes, a lot of people are already typing before me asking. Yes, product display page. Uh, yeah, searching the products is the next thing. Yes, you are right. Searching the products. Searching the products. We have to search, and there are different ways of searching, right? When you search for a product, directly you will see a search box, and other search box will come when you search for a wrong product and there are no search results. Again, you will get a page where search box will come, right? So something like this. If I show you something like this, let's see if this is working or not. Tutorials ninja.com/demo. This is our demo application, guys. Okay, you are free to use this application. Okay, we have hosted it. So I'm going to demonstrate some scenarios on this hosted application. Okay, this is just for our practice. So if you search for something, if I don't search for something, some other search page is coming. You see, apart from this search, you are getting another search, such kind of extra search box fields. And someone was saying here in the chat that such products, yeah, payment thing is again very big thing. Payments, if you talk about payments, there are different type of payments, right? Net banking is there, debit cards are there. Okay, then we have credit cards are there. Then we have what else, guys? Okay, cash on deliveries are there. Any other things, guys? Okay, nowadays we are getting some wallets also. Okay, wallets, Google Pay or something. Okay, such kind of apps, wallets and apps. Then Paytm, lot of integrations, lot of things are there when coming to payments also. Okay, so and any more may be there coming. So you see how much complex the applications are, right? If you talk only about, if you focus only about payments, it's very big, right? Yes, order status. Once you make an order. Okay, so once you make an order, what will happen? Order status, order tracking. If you talk about orders, order status is there, order tracking is there. Okay, returning of the orders is there. So complaint section is there. If someone is having some problem with the orders, we can complain, and customer care is there. Some chat will be there, right? Some chat options may be there, so that these people can interact with the people. And then some e-commerce applications may have the chat. Okay, so then any other things, guys? Yes, add to cart. Okay, adding the item to cart. You are right, guys. A lot of e-commerce knowledge we are getting today, right? By just discussing like this over the chat, it feels very lively. It's a very lively session, guys, where everyone is like, we are getting a lot of ideas. I'm just going through your list. Okay, even I know all this stuff, but by going through your list, I am able to write more stuff today. Okay, yes, product pages already covered us. That's correct. Orders. Okay, add to cart. Products, cancellations is returning. Yes, return or cancellations, you can say. Replacements will be there, right? Replacement. Some websites provide replacing. Okay, just to have a wrong product, they will replace. Yeah, shipping. Yes, shipping may not be visible to us, but internally the application may handle the shipping in a different application. Okay, but shipping date status may be there. Okay, shipping status for the general users will be there for sure. Coming to wish list. Wish list. Yes, wish list is also there, guys. Yes, wish list, like if you want to purchase something in future, and you are interested, you love that product to purchase but not now, so just add it to the wish list, and future when time comes, you are going to purchase. Payment methods covered, a lot of functionalities are there. There is card. Yeah. Yes, address, account. Generally account we need to have, right? Account details we have to provide. And account details, a lot of functionalities like adding the address. Okay, the orders you have placed, all the stuff, things will be there. Yes, UPI, Amazon Pay, credits, coupon code. Yes, coupon code, offers. You see the list is endless, right? Coupon code, orders. Yes, bills, recharges, personal info, shop by category. Nowadays, Amazon is having a lot of things, guys. Okay, if you go this much complex, okay, shop by categories. Categories section is another very big important thing also. At the same time, someone is saying categories. That's also right, guys. Okay, so that's very huge list we have discussed, guys. Okay, one interesting future. Okay, let's make this session more interesting. So in US, right? Okay, let's make this session more interesting. Yes, filtering of the products is also there. That's correct. Branding, products, marketing may be there. Marketing, right? Marketing. Marketing is also one aspect of the e-commerce. They have to market. They have to display only the famous products on the homepage. Right? So a lot of things are there. A lot of things. Okay. So there is one thing, guys. Okay, and different localities you can say. Amazon maybe in India, Amazon maybe in other country, Amazon maybe in US. They have different versions, right? Very big application for sure. So very interesting. You know, wedding registry. Anyone know about wedding registry, guys? Most of the people may not be knowing, but I feel like a lot of people may be knowing. Yes, few people are already knowing that what is wedding registry. So it's a funny thing. I feel in India, if you think about wedding registry, it will feel like a different thing. But in US, it's common, guys, where bride and groom, okay, bride and groom before their marriage, what they, before they invite people, right, they will create a list of items that they want for their household things. Okay, they actually decide the different types they are expecting from the guests as gifts. Okay, so here we feel shy about gifts, right, asking for gifts, but they are very open. So they create a list of wedding registry. This is a registry of the wedding items that they can accept as the gifts. Okay, they will provide like, okay, I want 4 glasses, okay, 5 plates, or this washing machine or something, oven or something. Okay, so like that every list they will add. And now the guest who has to attend this wedding, what they will do, they will see this wedding registry. And they will see that these are the things that this groom and okay, groom and other, okay, are expecting, bride are expecting, and then they will accordingly purchase. If someone has purchased this one, this item will be removed from the registry, and remaining people have to go through the remaining items. Like that everyone will be coming in an organized manner, guys. Okay, so this is very funny or not, guys? Type S if you are feel this is very funny, right? For Indian case it is funny, but in US it's very common, guys. Okay, in Indian version we don't see this kind of option, but it's a very good option, I feel. I felt very good when I have worked on that kind of feature earlier. Fine. Anyhow, now we understood how the complex applications will be there. If you are thinking this kind of complex applications, is automation suitable or not? Is a question, guys. What do you think? Is automation suitable for this kind of applications over a long run? Because this will take long run, guys. Okay, large number of teams need to be working. It's not a simple team cannot work on this application. A single team cannot work on this application. Nearly altogether 20 to 30 testing teams, 2 or 3 people, if you call them as a team, if you call them as a team as 2 or 3 people, like that 20, 30, 40, 50, we don't know, depending on the number of features in the application. We need a lot of teams. Like this, lot of teams have to be working parallelly over a period of time in a long term basis. And also, you know, right, all the festival seasons will come and things are very not so easy. So here automation is feasible or not, guys? For this kind of application, automation is feasible or not? Do we get ROI? What do you think? Return on investment is possible or not? What do you think? If it is possible, type S. Yes, automation is possible, type S, guys. Okay, I would like to see a lot of SS if you are agreeing with me. Yes, yes, you are right, guys. So here, guys, over a period of time, automation, whatever the advantages you told me just now, right, it will reduce time, it will reduce manual efforts, it will what is that, guys? It will automate the regression thing, and it will be accurate. Okay, so all those things here, when you automate such kind of regression in this kind of long term applications, you can focus. What is the main advantage that you are going to get? What is the thing that you can focus when automation is taking care of the regression, guys? What is the main thing that you will focus when automation testing is taking care of the regression part? Just tell me, guys. Tell me the answer for that. So you can focus on day-to-day work, right? You see, we are working in agile, right? Agile sprints will be there. So agile sprint will be something like 15 days, right? So let's say this is the starting of the sprint and ending of the sprint. Let's say in your company it will be 2 weeks or 3 weeks or 4 weeks. Okay, in different companies. So let's say it's a 2 week sprint. Can you test this kind of complex application in 2 weeks over a period of time? Is it possible once most of the application features available are available to test? Is it possible for a person? I am seeing a lot of people are raising hands. You can directly chat, guys. Okay, you can ping in the chat, guys. Okay, otherwise I'll be, yeah. So is it annex? Okay, fine, fine. Just ping in the chat, guys. That will be good. Be interactive. Okay, and if you have any questions, you can type in the chat. Not a problem. Yeah. No, no, not. Yeah, you are right, guys. Your answers are right. You are saying simply saying no. Yes, in 2 weeks we cannot test this much of complex application. No matter how many testers we have, it's not possible. It's impossible. Okay. So I'm already covering. This is enough, Swati. We'll be covering more in future. Okay. So this for the context, it will be okay. Fine. Okay, Swati. I got a question from Swati. Fine. This context wise, this is fine. We'll cover more in the future. Okay. Fine. I'll be taking real time thing where I'll be explaining how the things will work in real time in detail. For now, this is okay. So 2 weeks, impossible, right? Impossible is a word. Okay. Sometimes we have to accept that impossible thing will happen also. Okay. So here, despite of having this many of teams, okay, we cannot complete our work in 2 weeks if you have to test the complete functionality from starting to end. So what's the solution? Automation. Automation testing is a solution, guys. We have to automate. Okay, we have to automate the things that are regression wise. Whatever the repetitive things that are there, we have to automate them. And we have to in agile, right, in sprint we'll get stories, right? We'll get user stories at the beginning of the sprint itself, like this. Some user stories will be coming like this, and every story will have some points, and everyone, developers, testers, and everyone has to focus on this particular stories, user stories, and they have to fully focus on this, right? And if you have to focus on the stories, if you have this many like if you have to test all the functionalities, is it possible to focus here on these user stories? It's not possible. Okay, testers focus should be more on the user stories rather than the existing or regression functionalities. Instead of that, we have to focus more on whether the new features are working, modified things are working, defect fixes are working, like in the form of user stories and defects we have to test for the sprint. This is where our focus should be for the sprint, right? For 2 weeks we have to focus more on completing this stuff. These particular things need to be completed and move this side, right? At the end of the sprint you should be in a position to complete all this stuff. But if you are focusing on the end-to-end functionalities from the starting and beginning of the complete functionalities, what will happen? You will be missing the focus here, and your job will not be completed. So this is where, guys, automation comes into the picture. It's very useful, guys. Okay, automation comes into the picture here, where we'll automate all our existing functionality related regression tasks, and whatever the things that are new, right, will be manually testing. Okay, manually testing these things, and by the end of the sprint, not only you will be manually testing all these new scenarios, also you'll be automating. Okay, for the next sprint we'll have the next list of for the next sprint we'll be having the next list of automation tests ready, right? Every sprint you have to work, not only work manual tests, not only execute your executing scripts, area scripts, but also you need to automate the new user stories also, and whichever are stable. Okay, whichever the things are stable you have to automate. So fine, so that's how the things work. Fine, then next thing, guys. Okay, next thing is so guys, I request everyone to chat instead of raising hand, because I don't know what's happening there. Okay, so just ping in the chat if you have something, and ping it open way. Okay, ping in open way so that everyone can see. That will be good. So fine, guys. Next thing is all about which scenarios we have to select, okay, for automating. If you want to automate something, the scenarios need to be, can we automate scenarios, right? So if you have to derive some scenarios from the functionality of the application, that's right? We have to derive some scenarios from the functionality of the application. So guys, can I automate unstable scenarios which are like having some issues, which are changing with customer requirements, and like regularly? Such kind of scenarios can I automate? Is it suggestible to automate such kind of unstable scenarios which have some defect fixes to be done? Yes, it's not possible. Impossible again. Yes, you are right. We should not consider such kind of scenarios. Okay, so which kind of scenarios we have to automate? Stable scenarios we have to automate, guys. Okay, when someone asking you to automate some unstable scenarios, you should not be doing that. Okay, you may get things ready, but should not be finalizing the things. Okay, scenarios, functionalities which are very stable, which doesn't have any defects, which where developers are not working on that particular kind of scenario still, such kind of scenarios you need to automate, guys. Okay, scenarios which are working fine should be automated. That's correct, guys. You are right. So guys, so far clear, guys? Like a small, like just overview of automation. What is the difference between manual and automation? Why we need automation? advantages of automation, lot of things we covered today, right? So far clear? Type S if everyone is clear so far. Type S. Any doubts you can even ask, guys. Okay, just type S so that I can see how many people are understanding the session. Yes, yes. Lot of S's. Good to see lot of S's. Keep on typing, guys. Keep on typing. So we'll move to the next part. Okay, we will move to the next part with the same energy. Fine. Great. Great, guys. Good to see lot of S's. That's very good. Now, guys. So now, introduction. Before we start Selenium, these basics are required, guys. Whatever I covered today are required. Because without knowing all this stuff, if you start learning Selenium or something, that is a waste, right? Why you are learning, you have to know first, right? Why you are learning Selenium, you need to know first. What exactly is Selenium? Why you have to learn Selenium? All those things you have to know first. Then only your understanding of Selenium will become more good, and you will feel a purpose. Okay, you have to feel the purpose of why you are learning Selenium. Fine, guys. Let's start with Selenium then. Okay, Selenium. What is Selenium? I know a lot of people have answers for this. So let me give this question to you guys and give some answers in the chat, and I will give my answer later. Okay, what is Selenium? Different levels of answers I am expecting, guys. Just type in the chat, guys. What is Selenium? Any answers? You can type in the chat. What is Selenium? Yeah, a lot of people are saying automation tool. Okay, okay. In some terms, it is an automation tool. Yes, automation testing tool. Yeah, yeah. Someone has derived it more better way, saying it's not just an automation tool. It's a automation testing tool. Okay, it's actually automates the testing process. That's very right. Yes, someone is saying it will automate web applications. Yes, that's also right. Okay, very advanced answers also I am getting. Portable framework for testing web application. Fine. Yeah, a kind of framework only. That's okay. Okay, any other? Yeah, it's someone is saying Selenium is an open source. Okay, open source automation testing tool for web applications. Yeah, we are making the definition like what is Selenium more. Okay, more open source automation testing tool for web applications. So for answers, I am just clubbing together, guys. I'm just simply joining, nothing more than that. Okay. Uh, yes, yes. Good answers you have given so far, guys. So in reality, guys, Selenium tool is not a tool that you generally don't look like. Okay, it's we can say that as a tool. General words, we can say Selenium is an automation tool, but in reality, it is an API commands, guys. It's a list of API commands. Okay. So if you talk about Selenium WebDriver, so which is the main component of Selenium, it has a lot of APIs. Lot of APIs for performing different operations. I'll explain about APIs in future, but at a high level, I'm just giving a hint. Okay, but for now, this answer is good, guys. This is all good to go with this thing. We can go with this answer for now. In future, I'll say how the Selenium is not a tool, but it is an API. Okay, it's an API. So I'll come to that later. For now, understand that you can even tell that automation tool. Okay, so list of automation tools are there in the market like Selenium, UFT, and all those stuff. We generally talk like that, right? But in reality, it is an API. It's an API. I will come to that API at a later point of time when time comes. So what is Selenium now? Selenium is nothing but an open source. Open source means the code is available for everyone. Open source means what, guys? It's not just free. Okay. It means there are two benefits of open source in reality. That is, one benefit is it is kind of its code is open. Code is open. Anyone interested in developing this Selenium to the next level, right? They can put this, they can get this code from website, and then they can add their own version of the code and get that code approved, and then have it in the latest versions of Selenium. So code is open, so you can get this code. So unlike Microsoft or other people who are actually creating some tools like Microsoft Windows or Microsoft Office, they are not sharing the code outside. But Selenium is sharing its code. Whatever the underlying code for developing the Selenium is open to the public case. Anyone can get this code, and you can create your own automation tool also based on the Selenium. You can create more advanced tool also. Okay, and you can create your own community. Such kind of possibilities are there with Selenium. That's why we can say open source. Other thing is it's free, guys. No licensing costs. Selenium, you don't have to pay any license In order to use Selenium, there is no license, zero fees. Okay, zero money. Simply configure Selenium in one of your Java projects and you can directly use it. No one will ask you for any money. Okay, it's license free, that is free of cost. Fine guys, open source and free automation testing tool for web applications. That means Selenium can automate only web applications, right? This means that Selenium can only automate web applications. Can Selenium automate desktop applications, guys? What are desktop applications? Any examples for desktop applications? You can type in the chat. Any examples for desktop applications? Any examples for the desktop applications? Yes, this Paint is a, whatever the Paint we are working on is nothing but desktop applications. Yes, Paint is there, MS Office is there, MS Office desktop version, yes, Notepad. Lot of inputs I am getting on the chat. I am just typing from the chat itself, guys. So Adobe Reader, you are right, Adobe Reader is also. Skype is there, we have Skype, yes, right, Skype already covered. Photoshop, yes, Photoshop. Lot of tools are there. Screenshot tools, okay, lot of screenshot tools are also there in the market. Yes, right guys, all these are desktop applications. What about mobile applications? Can Selenium automate mobile applications? No. Yes. So what is the tool for mobile application, guys? What is the tool? Then if Selenium is not going to automate, what tool we have to use for which is a dedicated tool for mobile applications? Yes, Appium. Yeah, right, everyone is clear with Appium. Okay, they know what is Appium. Okay, that's very good. What about desktop applications? Which automation tool we have to use for automating the desktop applications like Paint, Skype, Notepad, Adobe Reader? Do you have any suggestions, guys? Which automation tool we have to use? For mobile we have Appium, for web application we have Selenium. Yes, UFT, you are right guys. Any other tool other than UFT we can use? Any ideas of other than UFT, guys? So apart from UFT we have Test Complete. If you know some tool like Test Complete, yes, you are right guys, Test Complete is a tool. Okay, one of the person has pinged, Surabhi has pinged that just Test Complete is a tool for desktop application. That's right. We generally, whenever in our day-to-day projects, right, whenever we get new client leads, okay, so there will be some discussions happening whether we can go with UFT or Test Complete for automating the desktop applications. So generally, Test Complete is kind of cheaper when compared to UFT, but it is powerful at the same time. But UFT has a lot of market. So like that, guys. Okay, there are some differences between UFT and Test Complete while choosing the desktop application automation. But coming to web application, Selenium is a major. Okay, everyone uses Selenium, guys. If you are talking about web application, there is no doubt that we generally go with Selenium. Okay, for if you are talking about mobile application, Appium is a leader in the market. Coming to the desktop applications, UFT and Test Complete are the leaders in the market. So guys, only like general, it's anyhow our training session is based on completely Selenium. Do we have to learn Selenium, then Appium, and then other one is UFT or Test Complete? Okay, do we learn do you have to learn all these tools, guys? Do you think yes or no? Do we have to learn all these tools? Because no single tool is doing all the things, right? Do we have to learn all these tools, or only one tool learning is enough? What do you think, guys? What do you think? Yes, all. Yes, if you want to be a complete tester, who can automate not only web applications, if you want to be a complete tester who don't only want to automate web applications, but also mobile applications and also, okay, desktop applications, you have to learn all the tools. Okay, so if you want to automate different type of applications, then you have to go with all the tools, guys. Okay, yes, depending on the requirement is the proper answer. That's right, that's very right. Depending on the requirement, we have to learn or use our automation tools. Okay, we should be very flexible, guys, into the day-to-day jobs, right? Nowadays we don't know which application will get as a requirement. Okay, so we should be very ready for that. Yes, yes, as correctly stated by Sriram in the chat, if you learn one tool, something like Selenium, it is an open door for learning different tools, guys. Okay, once you learn Selenium, Appium will be a bit easier. Okay, it's very easy to learn Appium. It's very easy to actually learn REST assured framework. Okay, for APIs, for API automation, we need a REST assured framework, right? And for Angular JS applications, for specifically for the Angular JS applications, which tool we have to use, guys? Which automation tool is for Angular JS application? Yes, you are right. Protractor is a tool. Okay, so Protractor. Like that, many tools are there in the market for different requirements, right? Okay, so a lot of tools are there. So but Selenium is an open door. Once you open this door, once you open this door with the help of Selenium, okay, all the tools learning will become very pretty easy, guys. Okay, so just spend 2 months of time of learning Selenium. Once you open the door and go inside and you master Selenium completely, then it will not take that much time, guys. 15-20 days, 15-20 or 1 month max. Okay, for difficult tools, 1 month max. You will be able to learn so fast. All the other tools you will be learning so fast. If you start learning with Selenium, then all the other tools learning will be very easy for you guys. Okay, then that's why I'm saying Selenium is an open door. So a lot of because generally user tool is Selenium automation tool. So other tools we will be using based on the requirement. Most of the projects in the company will be using Selenium. So if you start learning with Selenium, and at the same time it's an open door, mostly user tool in the market in the projects, and thereafter you can improvise your skills in automating the mobile applications, automating the desktop applications, automating the Angular JS applications, automating the APIs, all those stuff by learning many number of tools in the future. But once you learn Selenium, every other thing will become pretty easy, guys. Like a cakewalk, you can go afterwards. So that's great. That's great. Now, Selenium, we know what is Selenium now, right? Selenium is a test automation tool, which is an open source and free test automation tool. Okay. So, and which can automate the web applications, as rightly said by you guys. So we already covered type of applications that Selenium can automate. It can automate only the web applications, but not the desktop applications. We already gave the examples, and we already discussed Selenium is a free tool, right? Now, the next thing is, what are the different browsers supported by Selenium? What are the different browsers supported by Selenium? You can give me the list, guys. If you already know, you can type in the chat, guys. Okay, so that you will feel interactive. Yes, Chrome browser, all the famous browsers first. Chrome browser, yes, Firefox browser, Internet Explorer browser. 1 minute. Internet Explorer browser, followed by, yes. Are we missing anything in the chat, guys? Firefox, Safari. Safari is someone has pinged Safari. Yes, right. Anyone? Any other things apart from whatever you have listed on here? Yeah, someone is saying Opera. That's also right. Opera is also supported browser. Yes, mostly all in the market, but let's yes, Edge. Edge is something. Okay, yes, Edge. You are right, Divya. Edge is there. Fine. Yeah, this looks a pretty very good list. Let's confirm whether we are in the right track or not. Okay, all these things are perfectly right. Whatever you pinged in the chart are perfectly right, guys. These are all the different browsers that Selenium supports. You can automate your automation scripts. You can write the automation code once. So guys, one more question. Do we have to write automation code for each and every browser? For each and every browser I have to repeat the automation code writing? Is it a correct approach or not? No. How many times I need to write? Only one code. Okay. One time we will write the code. Okay. One time we will write the code and configure in such a way that by adding just one or two statements for the same code, for the entire code, we will be able to execute the same code on multiple browsers. Right? Yes. Yes, correct. Yes, same code. Same code, and we'll have this related stuff. Anyhow, let's to confirm. So I will be just typing something like this. Selenium, Java, WebDriver, API. Simply I'm just Google search, guys. Google search for this 4 words. That is Selenium, Java, WebDriver, API, and click on enter. You'll get this link from the official website of Selenium, selenium.dev. You'll get this API docs. Okay, this is actually Selenium means. Yes, only need to mention the browser names. That's right, only browser names for now. Okay, so yes, correct, fine. Fine. Here, I am just searching for something like, you don't have to worry here, guys. This is a API. I told you, right? Selenium is nothing but an API. I'm in future, I'm going to explain about this API in detail. For now, just come to this page by giving that 4 words. That is Selenium Java WebDriver API. Google search for 4 words. That is Selenium WebDriver Java API. And you will be coming to this particular page where you will see the Selenium API Java documentation. Okay. Selenium Java API documentation. That particular place will come. I'll search for one of the things I know in Selenium WebDriver, that is WebDriver. Okay, WebDriver. WebDriver is an interface. Don't worry whether you don't know what is interface and all. I will come to that later. Okay, just I am searching for something in the API of the Selenium. I'll come here. The reason why I'm coming to this particular page is you will see all the supported browsers here. See guys, whether we covered Chrome. Yeah, we already covered Chrome. For Chrome, Selenium is providing something known as Chrome driver. Okay, I'll come to the drivers later. So just understand, by just looking at these names, you should be able to identify what all browsers that Selenium is supporting. Okay, only the purpose is to identify the browsers, guys, not to understand what is driver, what is web driver. That will be covered later at any point of time. Okay, Safari is there, some remote driver. So remote driver is not a browser. Okay, it's a different thing. So don't consider it for browser for now. So Safari driver is a Safari browser. Opera driver means Opera browser. Internet Explorer driver means Internet Explorer browser. And Firefox driver for Firefox browser. And this is something different. Okay, it comes into listeners and all. Fine. And Edge browser and Chrome browser. So did we cover all the browsers or not? Did we cover all the browsers? Yes or no, guys? Type yes if we covered all the browsers. Type yes if we covered all the browsers. Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer, Edge, Safari, Opera. Yes, we covered all the browsers. These are the different browsers that are supported by Selenium. Okay. Once you write the automation code on Selenium, you can run your automation code either on Chrome browser, either on Firefox browser, Internet Explorer, Safari, Opera, and Edge. Fine. This is all about the different browsers supported by the Selenium. Now, let's go to the operating systems supported by Selenium. So tell me guys, what are the different operating systems, okay, from where we can automate the code on Selenium? Is it possible to write the automation code on different operating systems like Windows? What are the different popular operating systems that are supported by? Yes, Mac and Linux. That's right, guys. That's right. So Linux means a lot of flavors will be there in, like, don't worry about flavors, versions, and all those things about the operating system. At a high level, Selenium supports all the major operating systems. Okay, no matter what in which operating system you are working on. Okay, so you are using from there. Either you can run your automation scripts on Windows, you can run your automation scripts from Mac. Okay, you can run your automation scripts from create and run your automation scripts from Linux also. Okay, so all the different operating systems that are majorly used in the market are supported by Selenium. Okay, this much knowledge is enough, guys. Okay, we don't have to dig deep. Fine. Anyhow, in my sessions, I am going to choose Windows because most of the people choose Windows, right? We'll be automating and learning things on Windows. So my trainings will be completely based on Windows. In Windows, whatever the machine I have is a Windows 10 machine. On that, I'll be from this Windows operating system machine. I am going to explain you everything on Selenium, guys. Fine. Now coming to the programming languages. What are the different programming languages supported by Selenium? These are the different programming languages that are supported by Selenium, guys. So Java, C Sharp, Ruby, Python, Perl, JavaScript, R, Objective-C, Haskell. This many number of programming languages. Okay, this many number of programming languages are supported. All these are major. Like if you see, can you give priority, guys? What is the priority of Java? Like otherwise not about priority, what are the major languages that you see people automating Selenium on this particular languages? Do you see everyone automating every language, or it's like what are the major languages that you can get from this list? Yes, Java is something. Yes, Ram, you are right. Java and C Sharp. Yes, Java, Python is also major. Okay, so mostly used is Java, but major, I am asking major, guys. Okay, so I see people using Java. I see like a lot of projects follow Java, and I also see very good number of people using C Sharp, and I also see good number of people nowadays are migrating to Python itself. Python also at the same time. Yes, Python is also in kind of demand in the market. And nowadays, one more thing is JavaScript also is in very good demand. Don't underestimate JavaScript. Okay, power of JavaScript. Some projects who want some extraordinary results, right? They are going with JavaScript also at same time. So all these are powerful languages. And another language I see here from this is like JavaScript is something, and Haskell no, Objective C no, R no. JavaScript already written. Then here coming to Java, C Sharp, Ruby is the other one, guys. Okay, these are the major things I see. Compared to this four, Ruby is a bit less, but it is also being followed. Okay, so I just with my experience, right, whatever I have seen in the projects, I see a lot of people are in the bucket of Java, and considerable amount of people are also there in C Sharp, Python, and JavaScript, and also some projects are even using Ruby. So this is how I see the programming language impact. Okay, even though you have many programming language support for Selenium, but I see this is the thing. So guys, a lot of people will be asking me like whether I have to start learning with Java or Python. Selenium. You have to learn Selenium with Python or Java. What do you think, guys? What is the best language to get started with learning of Selenium? Okay, some saying both, some saying Python, some saying Java. Okay, I'm getting multiple results. Most of the votes are for Java, guys. Okay, most of the votes for Java only I got. Yes, you are right, guys. You have to start learning with Java only. Okay, learn using Java, because why, guys? More projects in the market are using Java as their programming languages for automating using Selenium. Okay, and at same time, if you are stuck somewhere while automating something using Java programming with Selenium, if you are stuck somewhere, if you Google search for the solutions, if you Google search for the solutions, do you get the most of the results in Java or Python, guys? What do you think? There are few advantages. Yes, most of the results that you get for your problems while automating something, if you are stuck with some problem and you are searching for that in the web, in Google search, you are doing that. For the solutions that you are going to get in the Google search results, most of the results will be in Java or Python. Most of the results, Java only, guys. Okay. So a lot of people use Java as their Selenium automation language, and also most of the people will give the results. I mean, provide the solutions. Maybe it may be in Quora, it may be in Stack Overflow or any other things. If you look at, right, you will get more answers related to Java only when compared to Python. Okay. And another one more thing. Any other advantage? Even Selenium guys also. Okay. Even Selenium guys also, whenever they release latest versions, okay, they will give more priority to Java, guys. First they will try to release Selenium in, and new things will generally come in Selenium Java, guys. First Selenium Java version will be released, then other language versions based on their priorities will be released. Okay, the first type of okay, you will get the version in Selenium Java release first. New features, if the Selenium guys want to release some new features as part of some new or latest versions, they prefer Java to be released first. After that, soon after that, you will get all the other languages also. Okay, so this is actually keeping on happening with Selenium guys also at same time. Okay, but why people are actually like even showing interest in Python? Why not Java? Why some people are starting with Python also? Some cases very. So most of the people are voting for Java itself. As you can see in our people who are attending this class also, a lot of people have said Java only, but very few people said Python. So why that less percentage is coming there for Python? Yes. So simple. Python is like nowadays a lot of new technologies what machine learning and all those things are based on Python, right? Okay, advanced. You can say it is like a future is very good for Python. Some people are believing, and other thing that is coming to their mind is it's easy to learn. Some category of people will feel like Python is easy when compared to Java when kind of learning, and people may think that, okay, like demand in the market. Okay, you see less number of jobs may be there for Python, but what when compared to Java, you will see less number of jobs for Python when compared to Java only, I'm saying. But demand will be high because less number of people will also be there for Python, right? So a lot of people are already trained on Java, So it may become very bit easy for them to actually get the job on Python, right? That's why they are saying. But learning purpose, yes, yes, that's correct, guys. Whatever you are pinging in the chat is right. Less competition for Python plus Selenium when compared to Java, Selenium. The demand means competition is less competition and more demand. Okay, compared. But guys, learning, I still recommend Java only. Okay, if you learn something in Java, right, you will become completely perfect in Selenium, where okay, where you can get an opportunity to work on automation projects if you are already working in a company, and here you will get all the solutions. You will not be stuck, guys. If you start learning Python, right, you may stuck somewhere and you may not get some solution, XYZ solution, we don't know. Okay, some advanced solutions you may not get. But Java will get everything in the, when you Google search, all the solutions for your problems will be coming. And also you will get the latest versions at the same time. Yes, yes, correct. So out of 10 jobs, 7 jobs are, as Sriram is saying, Sriram is very good at analyzing the jobs and all. So with his experience also, he's saying that 10 jobs, in 10 jobs, 7 jobs are Selenium Java in the market, whereas 3 jobs are Selenium Python, and less competition is there. That's fine. But still, I recommend everyone to start learning Selenium with Java, guys. Python, if you want to still learn Python for your getting this other demand, capturing the demand, right? It will not take that much time, guys. Once you master Java, you can easily switch to Python, guys. Okay, so there is no problem that it will not take that much time, guys. It's just a language change, right? The commands will be changing, small commands will be changing. Other than that, nothing is different. So when you understand complete Selenium with the help of Java, then it will benefit you. Later, you will give some time to switch to Python. That's the best approach, guys. Start with Java and move to Python. Start with Java, move to Python is the best approach. So guys, how many people will think that this is a proper way of learning? Like learning with start learning with Java and then moving to switching to Python according to our requirements or needs. How many people will think this is the best approach? So I'm saying everyone is saying yes, right. That's correct, guys. This is the best approach. Okay, start with Selenium Java and move on to Python in future. So that's how we can be better in the market, and at the same time we will know everything. We will be very strong in Selenium Java at the same time. Okay, so fine, guys. That's very good from you guys. Now the next few topics we are left with, guys. Even the time is approaching, I can see that. Okay, I'll be able to complete this very soon. So different components in Selenium. Coming to the different components. Selenium, is a Selenium a single tool or a set of tools? Is Selenium a single tool or set of tools or components? What do you think, guys? Is Selenium a single tool or a set of? Yes, Selenium is a set of tools. Okay, it's majorly categorized into 4 types. Something are deprecated already, I mean outdated already. We have IDE, Selenium IDE. IDE means Selenium IDE. I'll write Selenium under one. Selenium IDE, and we have Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, and final thing is Selenium Grid. Okay, and finally Selenium Grid, guys. Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, and Selenium Grid. So out of all these 4 components, which is a major component, guys, that we have to focus more? Out of all the Selenium IDE, Selenium RC, Selenium WebDriver, Selenium Grid, what is a major component we have to focus? Yes, WebDriver is a major component, guys. We have to focus on WebDriver. Okay. So if you are learning Selenium, that means you are actually majorly learning Selenium WebDriver only, not other things. Okay. So this component, Selenium IDE component, okay, we should not learn in depth. Should not learn in depth. We should not learn in depth. In depth is not required. Okay, just a high level. How to use it is fine. Okay, you don't have to learn each and every command of Selenium IDE. That's not really required. Okay, so we have to just know how to learn for real-time purpose, real-time automation. Selenium IDE is not generally used, guys. Okay, so it's a handy tool, you can say, and if you know how to use it, that's fine. But we don't have to see how what is exact each and every command of that. It's very simple and easy tool anyhow. That's fine. But coming to Selenium RC, do we have to learn Selenium RC, guys? What do you think? Do we have to learn Selenium RC? No. That's the right answer. No is the right answer. right? We don't have to learn Selenium RC. It's already outdated, guys. Okay. During the years of 2007, it was very active. Okay. During the years of 2007, Selenium RC was very active, guys. It was a leader in the market during the time in the year 2007. At the time of 2007, 2008, 2009, slowly Selenium WebDriver came, right? Before the Selenium WebDriver came, Selenium RC was a very, very good leader in the market at that times. Okay. So it's already outdated and no one is actually using nowadays Selenium RC. It's completely ruled out, guys. This component we don't have to learn at all. Okay. At least Selenium ID we will learn at a just a high level. That is like we'll see how to use. That's it. Nothing much. Okay. It will be like you can say 5 or 10 minutes will be enough for learning Selenium ID, guys. Nothing more than that. 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. Okay. But coming to Selenium RC, we should completely avoid, and our complete focus will be there on Selenium WebDriver. Anyhow, once you learn Selenium WebDriver, the combination of Selenium WebDriver and Grid should be there. Okay. These two things can be focused, guys. Okay. Selenium WebDriver, and at the end of Selenium WebDriver, we'll go to Selenium Grid for parallel execution. So I'll tell how to do parallel execution at the end of the sessions. Okay. But the main focus is on Selenium WebDriver. Okay. Selenium WebDriver is kind of latest. As Sridham is saying, it's kind of latest. That's correct. It has a demand and we should be focusing here. This is what we are going to learn. Okay. This is what we are going to focus and learn more in this training sessions. Remaining things, they are like high levelly covered or not covered at all because they are outdated. Selenium RC is already outdated. You don't have to learn. So guys, clear about the Selenium components. Selenium is not a single tool or component, guys. It's a set of components. Okay. Like this. So is it clear, guys? Type S if it is clear so far. Type S if it is clear. Great, great. Okay, nice, guys. Now let's move on to the versions. Now let's move on to the versions, Selenium versions. Selenium versions. What is the latest version of Selenium, guys? Can someone type in the chat what is the latest version in Selenium? So Swati is asking me a question before that. That is, what about grid? Grid also we have to focus. Okay. Already explained, right, Swati? Grid also we have to focus. But major focus will be on Selenium WebDriver, and after that we'll move to grid. Grid is also important. Okay. We should not ignore grid. Fine. So now the question is, what is the latest version of Selenium? Is Selenium 4 already released? A lot of people are saying Selenium 4, right? A lot of people are saying Selenium 4 is the latest version. Is the Selenium 4 already released? Yes, it's in developing state, alpha state. A lot of people are saying that's correct. That's correct. Selenium 4 is not a completely released. Stable version is not there, guys. Okay. Stable version of Selenium 4 is not released yet. Okay. How to check this? How to check whether the stable version of what is the stable version and all? Simple, guys. Go to the browser, open mvnrepository.com. Okay. Go to mvnrepository.com. And here search for some Selenium Java or something. Okay. Selenium Java like this. Selenium. Here yum should be there. So Selenium Java, click on search. In the mvnrepository.com, you can go here and search for Selenium Java and you'll get the Selenium Java. Here you can see a good table, guys. Okay. I am going to MVN repository because they are representing the versions in a better way. Okay. I can show everything here. So you see the older versions we have is Selenium 2. Before Selenium 2, there was Selenium 1 also, which has RC. Now RC is outdated, so they are only keeping Selenium 2 onwards. From Selenium 2 onwards, WebDriver came. I will come to that anyhow. So 2, after 2, what happened? 3 came. Okay, after 3, what came? 4. 4 didn't come yet. Okay, this is like alpha versions, guys. They are in developing. You see, their background is like pink color. That means pink or red color. That means they are not at stable, guys. They are still in development only. Selenium 4 version is started, but it's in developing state. So it's an alpha state, not even beta state. Okay, alpha means not yet released into the general public also for testing. Okay, so they are testing from their side only. So here the latest, what is the latest stable version, guys? What do you think is the latest stable version from this table? Can you tell me the number of something which is latest stable version? Complete number you have to type, guys. You should not say 3. You should give some version after 3. What do you think is the latest stable version of Selenium? Yes, 3.141.59. This is the one, right? This is the latest stable version of Selenium 3. Yes, this is the latest stable version we have. That is Selenium 3, which is having the versioning as 3.141.5. This is the last version of Selenium 3, guys. That Selenium guys have released so far into the market. After that, they started developing the Selenium 4, okay, which is not stable yet. These are all not stable. But if you talk about stableness, so guys, which now tell me which version I am going to use for demonstration during my sessions. Which version I am going to choose? Yes, same version 3.141.59 I am going to choose. Okay, this is the version we are going to use, guys, as part of Selenium. For demonstration and training of Selenium, I am going to choose this latest version of Selenium, which is kind of stable. I will not be using 4 because 4 is not stable yet. And one more thing happened, guys. That is, once the Selenium guys have started 4 version, what they did is some new features of Selenium 4 automatically they are adding to Selenium 3 only. Okay, some stable versions of Selenium 4 they found, right? They are automatically adding to the latest stable version of Selenium 3. That means if you learn latest stable version of Selenium 3, automatically you will be understanding most of the new features of Selenium 4, which are already in completed stable development. You are getting my point, right? So here we have Selenium 4 is the latest. Okay, it's going to be the latest. Selenium 4 is going to be the latest, but it is taking time. It is taking time for developers, okay, of Selenium to complete all the functionalities. So few are stable, few functionalities are stable in Selenium 4, few are not stable. So what they are doing is, since it is taking time to release the Selenium 4 directly into the market, what Selenium guys are doing is, in the latest stable version of Selenium, that is, what is the latest stable version? 3.141.59 is the latest stable version, right? Into this latest stable versions, they are simply putting this stable features. Okay, so whatever the stable features they are planning for Selenium 4, they are incorporating into the latest stable version of Selenium 3, that is 3.14.59. okay. Yeah, Priya Gupta is asking me a question, which how will I get which is compatible version of Chrome driver for Chrome browser version? I will explain all those stuff during the sessions. This is not the right time. Okay, Priya Gupta, this is not the right time to explain this stuff. So there is a lot more thing to be covered before going there. So I'll be explaining that. Okay, that will be covered in future for sure. Okay, whatever the question you are asking. Great. So now you understood this concept, guys. Type S if you understood what's happening with versioning in terms of Selenium, how the Selenium guys are incorporating the latest stable versions of Selenium 4 into Selenium 3 stable version. Clear, right? Just type S if it is clear. Otherwise, I'll explain again. If someone is not able to understand, I'll explain again. If it is confusing or something, you can ask me. Great, guys. Great, great. I'm seeing everyone saying understood. That's very good. So no questions. We'll move on to the next one. That is prerequisites. Okay, so one more thing is, like, I was thinking of saying about versions, right? So Selenium 1 came, then afterwards Selenium 2 came, right? Then afterwards Selenium 3 came. Now Selenium 4 alpha is working, alpha is running, alpha is running. So in Selenium 1, it is part id was there. Then what else was there, guys? What are the different components of Selenium 1? If I take all the different components of Selenium, 4 components are there: ID, RC, WebDriver, and Grid. But if I talk about Selenium 1, what are the components that were there in Selenium 1, guys? Only 3 components: Selenium ID, Selenium RC, and Grid only. Only 3. Older version of Grid. Grid means older version of Grid, not the latest version. Now later Selenium 2 came. When Selenium 2 came, what were there in Selenium 2, guys? Selenium ID was there, RC was also there in a different way, okay, and then WebDriver was there. So this was a new addition in Selenium 2, guys. Okay, in Selenium 2, all the components are there. Okay, WebDriver and Grid was there. Now came Selenium 3. In Selenium 3, what they did is, ID was there, RC was completely removed, guys. They completely eliminated RC with the help of WebDriver. So WebDriver was self-sufficient now. Okay, earlier WebDriver was not fully sufficient. So somehow programmatically they did a lot of things where RC was replaced by WebDriver completely. Okay, there is no dependency on RC anymore. So ID, WebDriver, and Grid was there. Now they are planning for Selenium 4. The major thing is W3C compliance. Okay. So this is very important, not for our learning purpose. This W3C compliance is not for our learning purpose, but for Selenium to get a good response in the market. Okay. There are a lot of third-party tools, right? They are using Selenium. What are the different third-party tools? Anyone know any third-party tools that are using Selenium, that they are working with Selenium? For example, SaaS Labs is there. SaaS Labs. Okay. SaaS Labs is a cloud platform. Cloud platform, which actually can be used for executing our automation scripts on the cloud environments, okay, at a high level. But this kind of third-party companies, if they are depending on Selenium, okay, it will be more suitable if they follow W3 compliance. If Selenium follows W3 compliance, okay, it will be, yes, Browser Stack, Sauce Lab, like that many companies are there. These are like a tree kind of thing, you can say. Ecosystem, people, Selenium guys will call them as ecosystem. For example, if you go to the official website of Selenium, that is selenium.dev, they have support, some page known as support. I don't know whether that is there here or not. You see, like the different people are there. Community we should be there, guys. Have to see where is that documentation. 1 minute. Ecosystem will be there. I have to see whether I have the ecosystem or not. So I remember having that. The blog, fine. Our support only should be having that kind of info. They recently changed the website, guys. So I have to see carefully where exactly we have that. You see Selenium ecosystem is there here. Okay, click on the ecosystem. So browser drivers. This browser driver doesn't belong to Selenium, guys. Chrome company is working on the Chrome driver. Okay, it's a third party thing or not? Google Chrome web. This is Google Chrome driver. It's not belonging to the Selenium anymore. Who is developing this Chrome driver? Guys, who is developing this Chrome driver? Which company? Google company. Edge driver is being developed by Microsoft company. Eco driver is developed by Mozilla Firefox company. Okay. So like all these things like a browser stack and Sauce Labs are other way of ecosystem you can call Sridham. Okay. Sridham, even browser stack is also something, but I don't know whether, because if it is falls into the cloud thing only, right? Browser stack is also a cloud platform to my knowledge. So it also falls into the same thing. Okay. We can generalize, but we cannot say specifically. Yes, cloud. The same thing like Sauce Labs, browser stack, same, both are same. So language bindings are there, frameworks are. You see a lot of frameworks which are actually dependent on Selenium. Okay, these you see a lot of frameworks like WebDriver IO. You know, right? WebDriver IO is like JavaScript based kind of framework, which is on the top of Selenium. If Selenium develops something, right, WebDriver also automatically will become more good. So these guys are already taking Selenium as a base, guys. These are different automation tools, but these automation tools are taking base as Selenium. Internally they are using Selenium only. The engine is Selenium, the model is different, like that. Okay, Watir, Selenide. Okay, a lot of knowledge we can get, guys. Capybara, CodeSafe.js. Okay, all these things are internally using engine as Selenium, and on the top of that they are doing. So to get this many number of ecosystem ready, okay, whatever that you are seeing here is a sample ecosystem, right? So if you have to increase the ecosystem, if you have to increase the ecosystem to many more, okay, like browser stack, Sauce Labs, okay, all these people, if you want to increase the list, keep on increasing the list, then Selenium somehow has to become internally W3C compliant. Okay, so everyone should be compliant with that worldwide web consortium, something like that. Okay, some standards, guys. This is nothing but a standard, guys. If Selenium follows some standards, what happens? Lot of tools or lot of dependency ecosystem will be created around Selenium, guys. So it will become more popular. Okay, when the ecosystem grows, automatically Selenium will become more popular. Okay, so it has to implement this kind of standards. That's where Selenium 4 guys are planning. Okay, to make it more W3C compliant. Anyhow, I'll explain what are the new features of Selenium 4 in a detailed manner in a separate session. Okay, I will take a separate session for explaining whatever the different things that are new in Selenium 4 in this same way I'm explaining today. Okay, so guys, at a high level, versioning is understood by you guys or not? Did you understand the versioning part, guys? Is it clear? Selenium 1, 2, 3, 4, how the versioning got changed? Is it clear, guys, for everyone? Great, guys, great, great. Good to see a lot of SS. That's very good. So, and finally, we have the prerequisites, guys. Okay, prerequisites for learning Selenium. So majorly locators and core Java. if you learn core Java and locators, things will be easy for you learning Selenium, guys. Okay, I already told my plan, right? First we are going to learn locators, then we are going to cover core Java, which is required for Selenium, then we are going to Selenium WebDriver and frameworks, right? So these are the two major prerequisites, guys. Somewhere locators need some basic knowledge of HTML. HTML basics will be required. You don't have to learn HTML in detail. HTML basics, locators. Okay, so there are different type of locators. I will explain all those things later. Okay, this locators and core Java are the major prerequisites. Okay, these are the major prerequisites for learning Selenium. Other than this, if you have any other prerequisites, right, before explaining any Selenium concepts, I am going to cover those prerequisites. Okay, so these sessions will be, first prerequisites will be covered, then only actual sessions will be taken, guys. Throughout my sessions the same process will be followed. Without prerequisites I will not go into the sessions. Okay, so I have to make you understand the sessions, so I have to cover the prerequisites first. Next thing, guys, official website of Selenium. Final topic, guys, official website of Selenium. What is the official website of Selenium? Already seen, right? That is selenium.dev. This was recently designed, guys. Okay, so the UI got changed completely. This is a selenium.dev, where you can see the Selenium WebDriver information of different components of Selenium, and the sponsors who are actually sponsoring Selenium, and some conferencing, some Selenium will conduct some conference, guys. Okay, so conferences information will be displayed here, and documentation. So the detailed documentation on Selenium and its library and all those things will be there here. You can even learn from the documentation sometimes. So, and open source. Selenium is an open source, right? They maintain a community, they maintain ecosystem. Okay, how to report bugs if you find something on Selenium versions. A lot of functionalities are there, and they even have some kind of blog where they announce some new things that are happening at Selenium side, or something that is newly happening or changing, or announcements. Everything will be in the blog. So this is the official website of Selenium, guys. Even the major thing that we need to focus on this website is this one, guys. Okay, the major thing that we need to focus is downloads part. From here we are going to download Selenium, guys. Okay, whenever we are ready to start learning Selenium, right, we have to download Selenium for here, from here downloads page, for free. Okay, they are not charging anything, it's free tool. We are going to downloads page. From here we are going to download different things that we want as part of configuring and setting up the Selenium, guys. Anyhow, how to download Selenium, how to set up things, I'll be explaining when the time comes. So guys, that's it for introduction to Selenium. Any doubts, guys? Any questions you have? Any questions or doubts from today's session? Is everything clear? Like high level overview or introduction to Selenium? Just type as, guys. Just type if everything is clear for you and you understood the session. Great, guys. Good to see all the SS from everyone. That's very good. And that's very great, guys.